Hey everybody, it's Yishan here with a special video. We have a Banlist video today, and I wanted to do it sort of my style, which is interpreting the Banlist in terms of Gren Maju and how the Banlist will affect Gren Maju, because I know a lot of the other big YouTubers, you know, they already do the Banlist reactions. Not really my cup of tea right now. I'm still a pretty small YouTuber, although I want to thank you guys. We're already above 400 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. We're going to be giving away some stuff when we hit 500. That's a promise. Maybe some Phantom Rage boxes, I was thinking, because that's full of goodies for Gren Maju. Alright, well, let's get right into the ban list. We'll go start card by card. First card, Block Dragon. Okay, I got my little notes here, my little notepad here. Okay, Block Dragon. So my notes on this one was, well, first, thank you very much, Mr. Konami. I do appreciate the Block Dragon ban. The real problem with Adamantipator was, I mean, the boards were crazy, yes. But just like, I mean, even if you break the board, if you're not putting a commanding presence back, you're just gonna lose. You're just gonna get OTK'd. This is just much nicer. No more +6s, +9s throughout the game. No more crazy stuff. I don't, you know, Adamantipator probably won't be a very competitive deck anymore. We'll still see it, but it'll definitely be weaker. And so, you know, that should be a fine matchup for us now. The next card that's forbidden is Jet Synchron. And so my notes on this one were, okay, well, if they're not gonna ban Needle Fiber, then I guess this is a fine first start. You know, I like it. It's not gonna stop Needle Fiber. I think everyone knows that already. But it will hurt a lot of consistency. And Gren Maju is a deck that really takes advantage if your opponent bricks. I mean, it's just gonna murder you if you brick. So I am happy about that. So I guess I like it. It's like, the thing is they also banned O-Lion. That's the next card on my list. And so I think, yeah, so with the Jet Synchron ban some combos will be wiggle, but they banned O-Lion as well, which makes all this Auroradon stuff less crazy. And again, they're not going to ban Needle Fiber. So this is nice because O-Lion ended up with a lot of like Herald Savage boards that were just 2 negates. And if they didn't summon any more darks, this was kind of a problem because it just made Super Poly really bad. So O-Lion's also forbidden. As in terms of a Gren Maju player, it's nice. Infernal Knight is still left though, untouched on this list, which means that you will probably need to play some hand traps because, first of all, I don't even know if Infernal Knight always summoned O-Line. I mean, you can still summon that like equip tuner thing, which is like can get some equips back. So yeah, I think Infernal Knight will still be a problem, but at least what Konami's doing is it's sort of they're narrowing the threats that you have to deal with, which makes it easier to deal with some decks because, you know, you're not trying to like deal with everything, right? So I think that's going to help us a lot. Okay, so we've got O-Lion. So my notes on the forbidden list, people will still figure out how to combo. There's still going to be combos, but they should be easier to fight. I'm thinking Kaijus will be stronger this format, which is nice because the Zuking Alpha from Phantom Rage synergizes well with Kaijus. So I'm looking forward to testing out some Kaijus in my Gren Maju deck. Now I wanted to insert a little thing about Eldritch after this forbidden section, which is none of these hits really directly address Eldritch in any way, whereas Block Dragon I felt like hit Adamantipator very hard. Eldritch, Infernal Knights, still, I would say, relatively untouched, and so those two decks are, I think, the ones that we're gonna have to be dealing with. Eldritch can be usually a tough matchup, so that's another thing to watch out for. They haven't really got any of their things. The traps are annoying as all can be. Harpies, Feather Duster, which did get you know, unbanned, can help with some blowout games, but I wouldn't count it. I don't know if we're gonna still see a Needle Fiber version of the deck or they're gonna go back to more pure control. I guess if they go back to more pure control, there are ways to target Eldritch and maybe have some hosers against them. But as of now, it's a little bit, you know, it's gonna be tough. So I just want to point that out. Eldritch is going to be still, I think, quite a difficult matchup for us, but we will see what we can do about that as the meta develops. Okay, so that's it for the Forbidden. Basic points, combo will still be around, but it should be easier. So I'm happy. If you're not going to ban Needle Fiber and Link Cross because they're newer cards, then this is sort of, I'm okay with this. Okay. Next, we've got Double Iris Magician. Now, you know, this is fine. I mean, pendulums, they can still do crazy things a lot of the time. So I'm happy that, you know, pendulum players are pretty happy to get some of their tools back. One nice thing about pendulums is they a lot of times end on darks or fusions that are easy to super poly away. So this is good because when super poly good, Gren Maju OTK style decks tend to be pretty good as well. Rusty also got unbanned. Now that's pretty crazy. Rusty Bardiche, the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. That is pretty crazy. This card is a total house, and yes, it does lead to super poly. These are my notes. You know, it's easy to super poly this card away. However, it leaves behind back row, which is one of Gren Maju's. It can be an issue, the fog blades and stuff. Now, like if you're playing the castle version, you can hextrude to force the pops, force the negates, and then you can make a rank 8, which could be pretty good. But yeah, it's you know, it's not like I'm not happy to see this card back. I think it's certainly its benefits outweigh what we can do as a deck. So like, because the fact that it sets back row outweighs the fact that it's gonna be able to be super polyed, I think. So, but I'm happy to see this because it usually means that we're getting some more interactive games, although Rusty sometimes leads to some interactive games where I just open 4 negates, but we'll see how this one goes. We'll see how this one goes. Okay. Next card, Harpy's Feather Duster unbanned. That's a yay for me. Really love this card. Definitely gonna main it just because it's just like you can use it anytime. It's like if your opponent just has 1 back row, it's trades 1 for 1. There's no restrictions like Lightning Storm. If you top deck it, it's fine. So this is definitely gonna be going in my decks. It could even be going on the Gren Maju stun deck. If it's not gonna go in your main deck, it should definitely go on your side. Pick up some copies yourself. And, so Call by the Grave also limited. Yeah, I mean, I guess they want to hurt like combo decks so you can play like Ash more and other like normal hand traps. So I guess that's nice. I mean, we're sometimes playing Call by the Grave, but I think also this is like a triple tactics talent marketing decision. Not a big deal for us. If anything, it maybe makes combo decks a little weaker because people are more afraid of hand traps. I was playing Crusader Guardian and we're just playing Crusader Power now anyway, so that doesn't really affect us. So I think it's more of like we want to sell triple tactics talent and we can combo decks a little bit. So yeah. Okay, semi-limited. Sir and Graf both got semi-limited. That's, you know, I mean, it makes sense. There's got some support in Phantom Rage, these Burning Abyss, PK Fire decks. So Konami wants to, you know, popularize it a bit. Again, I think this makes also another thing I should point out that D-Shifter is going to get really strong now because it's good against almost every deck now. It's always been good against every deck, so I think it's still, but it's just even better now against these decks that really rely on floating. What you can do is you can force them into a play that they're like, oh, I'm gonna float like crazy. Hit them with a D-Shifter, and then you're like actually like trading 2 for 1. Like if they go into like a you know, like a Dante. I don't know if people still do that, but yeah, you know, or right before they're about to go into Cherubini. Boom, you hit them with a D-Shifter and you can blow up their board usually pretty easily on the next turn, and they're down a lot of cards. That can really help. So yeah, Sir Graf, all that stuff. Back to 2. So hey, that's nice. ABC, Dragon Buster, and Toad. They're both fine. I mean, these decks weren't that popular anyway. I do have a Toad deck, like a normal Frog deck that I might do a deck profile on. So you guys can maybe look forward to that. But you know, nothing too crazy. So yeah. I guess it's fine. They're probably gonna go back to 3 next list, so you know, that'll be fun. But okay, so we've got ABC and Dragon Buster, the Unlimited Mercuria, which has got its errata, so it's fine. Tour Guide from the Underworld. Again, this is going on with the theme of, you know, I'm just gonna support Burning Abyss and PK Fire and all that stuff. They unbanned or unlimited the Ivgish Gustraken, which is like, I guess it's fine. Sometimes you get hand looped, but you know, again, it's like whatever. Pantheism. Now, let me talk about Monarchs real quick. So Monarchs, basically, it comes down to 2 things. My Monarch matchup, basically, especially if we're running Kai's in your deck, is did they open Vanity's Fiend or not? So that's basically it. Sometimes they open Vanity's Fiend and you can still play around it by, like, if you have Field Spell, Hextrude or Desire's Gren, but yeah, that's basically how my Monarch matchups go. Another deck where D-Shifter just is pretty good against them, but not like a blowout. So they can still play, I think, under D-Shifter, but it's still pretty good. I mean, you know, it's just good for the Monarch players, you know. Got to give them something, right? And then last, we have Widow Anchor to 3. It's annoying, but again, if you're playing Kaijus this upcoming format, this will be less annoying. you might think Striker's good matchup. You've got your Harpy's Feather Duster back too. So, I'll take this list. This is it. I'll take this list. I think Gren Maju might actually be, it's definitely improved its standing. Gotta watch out for Infernal Knight. That deck could be a problem. You definitely need to have a plan against it. What that plan happens to be, we don't know. We also have to keep track of how the needle fiber shenanigans are going on and what other combos are going to. Okay, anyway, that is it for all the cards on the list, guys. Yeah, so it's a great list. I think Gren Maju will probably, it'll be a more competitive deck this format. At least that's how it looks so far. We'll have to see how it shapes out. Definitely want to pay attention to how Infernal Knight is doing. Definitely want to pay attention to how other combo decks are doing. But right now, I'm really liking this list. Really looking forward to Phantom Rage. Really looking forward to get back to maybe some locals eventually soon. Fingers crossed for me. Not sure how that's going to happen, but I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember, 500 subs, we're going to do something great. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a nice day.